Inshallah and Ashe, as always, divine will's blessings to you and for you. And we are like having a spiritual acumen. Something's awakening within us spiritually, like spirit to matter. So with that, welcome to this week's energetic snippet. Once again, I am your host, the Tanya D. I'm a practicing holistic shaman medium and otherworldly life coach, playing in the subtle fields, and a reflector by design. I do follow the lunar energies, not just through the celestial seasons, but also the heavenly bodies. I do use the term holistic Sha medium, which is just a choreography, a map, a puzzle of them all as I map out the pathways, but design, like your design, your unique personal algorithm, just knowing who you are, like know now, divine timing or intervention, integration, knowing your gift, awakening to your purpose every day. And if you are new to my show, my channel, please subscribe. Go ahead and ring the bell to alert other lunar beings, majestics, that resonate with my frequency, with my vibration. And we are on the threads of eclipse season, 18 months. So I invite you to reminisce to 2015, 16, and 17. For myself, my mom's estate was becoming finalized. Betrayal, loss, my siblings and my uncle, finalized in 2016. But the betrayal becomes full circle. It materializes, returned to the betrayers. So she transitioned in 2014, but the tides, the threads, were being weaved and finalized in 2016. I also started my online journey, podcasting, an online business in 2016, my journey with Malidoma, doing or becoming a certified cowrie shell diviner, that began in 2015. So being a seer of the unseen, a mystic mage in some ways, the moon as a reflector, through each season really does reflect a new image. In this case, or this season, it's the body image, the image of reality being embodied. So we're under this guise of not just a Pisces full moon, but also a lunar eclipsed full moon. A spiritual intervention. I feel like it's a spiritual interview, an awakening, even a transformation for some of us. It's possibly a little more turbulent, maybe some intense emotional triggers. So it really is a time to navigate the field, the subtle bodies, the subtle field, guiding these currents. The energy is also infused. It's an infusion with a potency of spirit of your higher self that becomes a catalyst, not just an intense emotional catalyst for change, a transformation, but it's a form of a spiritual awakening, possibly a prophetic transformation. Kind of, I'm going to call it like a hurricane of emotions that may feel like you're navigating the currents, a turbulent current, or possibly not. But either way, be centered, be in your own personal zone of neutrality. Dreams, illusions, the subconscious, the fifth dimension, compassion. It really is a combination, a blending of all these subconscious energies. All of this and so much more are being amplified. It's like an inspirited sound system. Ears ringing, right? It's a spiritual sound system with a universal grid. And with Neptune also literally being in the mix, this is a once in our timeline. All of this energy is being amplified. It's a course correction, sensing, being more sensitive, emotions, but also the subtle energies, the streams, the currents, the unseen currents. It's the mystical empathy. It's the shaman's portal, amplified on top of the crown center, along with our sacral, creating this cosmic, spiritual, amplified twist of our physical reality. So it's within the sea of Poseidon, showing us the treasure map. There may be a rip or a tear in the field, the seam, a potential that comes out of our subconscious realm. So really diving into those unseen world, confronting our fears with love, ancient wisdom, connection to our higher self, our Sira, and literally embodying that aspect of you fully. And on Reflector's guidance this week, because we can't just stop there, and I am following always the moon, We kick off this week, of course, with the goddess rising into this lunar eclipse energy through Tuesday in Pisces. It's our spidey senses. They're full glimmering. I would even say they may be glamoring us, right? Kind of like a vampire. So you may feel more than vulnerable. And the exact time is like 10:34 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mountain Time, so that's going to be like 8. But I'm just going to say the goddess was in full bloom last night. I'll say I do sleep outside under the comforts of the cloud line. But dive deeper into your subconsciousness, possibly deeper than you have ever dove in before. It's the ghost in the darkness. Like, go there. Go against any fears. Invoke. Speak to them. Converse. Embrace your emotions. Often I find that they too need that virtual hug. But the time has come to really release those karmic patterns, the old patterning, even old behaviors, trusting your intuitive gifts, your guides, your ancestors, angels, guardians, dreams, visions. Be centered, embodied, grounded. Pisces love to escape reality. It's the river of denial. So really protecting your personal sacred space, which we all need to do, and prioritize nurturing yourself, balancing your essence, your true being, your authenticity with all of the natural resources that we have around us. This is called the balance of being, including rest, being mindful. It's an attitude of gratitude, placing our feet firmly on the earth and feeling the algorithm of the earth. Go ahead and listen to the musing moon meditation. You're going to have to possibly hit pause a few times. I incorporated ritual in this one and grabbing artifacts or items during the meditation or before. And then the moon moves into Aries, which is fantastic. So with the sun in Virgo, Wednesday through Thursday, we may have a power surge, like insight to act upon a sensation, a feeling. Not just a renewed sense of purpose, but a birthing of a new purpose. So this new inspiration comes with the feeling to assert, to take action. It's the pursuit of a goal, being impassioned. Aries tends to act out, like act on the emotion and responding before like the zone of neutrality. So it really is a time for a pause and reflection. More importantly, integration. Anytime I give people a ritual, there's always time to integrate. And Aries is a very fiery energy. It's the spark. It's the ignition. So before we act on our passions, we have to integrate feeling and embodying the movement that we want to take. So it's like, are those actions aligned with our long-term goals? Are they in integrity? Are they aligned with our values, our desires, our day desires? Is where that was coming from. So you may even have an eclipse hangover or the urge to take the first action, moving towards a new project, taking the first step, or to make a significant transformation, a change, a shift in your life, your trajectory. So this energy can be both motivating and also empowering. However, it's important to avoid those impulsive decisions and committing to something that really is not aligned with your heart's desires, while at the same time remaining mindful of your emotions so that our actions are not driven by anger, selfishness, hastiness. And then the moon does enter Taurus for the first part of the weekend, actually. So we're being called or really giving an invitation to go inward, to retreat, be inside of our bodies, embodying who we are. Because the Taurus moon actually trines the Virgo sun. The sun shines upon everything. In this case, it's shining upon our body, our reality, our ability to heal and serve and all the things, along with Pluto in Capricorn transforming the status quo. So there's this full trine happening here on Earth. So there's a full trine happening here in the earth plane. It's the environment. So really embracing the sensual pleasures of life, loving and trusting like what the divine heart, our high heart, is aligned with. When we are heart aligned, that is when the goal is initiated. Loving and trusting the goal, the manifestation, materializes in the physical world, the environment. That's really what grounding something into the physical is all about. It's the motion of those pleasures as we're about to enter the season of Libra. So these are the last few days of Venus in Libra. So this energy should be off the charts. It should be like glimmering, really offering us the opportunity to not just relax, but maybe do some overly indulgent sensory indulging our senses. It reminds me of succulent energy. Succulent, literally sucking, like the nectars. So it's a time to really appreciate the beauty and connecting with the Earth star, which is nature empathy, cultivating a sense of harmony, balance, integrity. It's also an invitation to take a breath and slow down, save the moment, indulge in some self-care rituals, habits, being of service to yourself. So if you're feeling tired, allowing yourself to rest. If you're experiencing any physical discomfort, get a massage. Really paying attention to your body and seeking the appropriate self-care by tending to our physical well-being, which means our physical needs. That is when we create a strong foundation for both our emotional and also spiritual growth. And then on Sunday, as the moon cascades into Gemini, which I generally don't go that far into the future, but as a Gemini myself, not my moon, that would be my sun. So you may feel a little bit of a social butterfly, all this energy in air, the season of air, stimulating our curiosity, enhancing our skills to communicate, encouraging a sense of connection. And I will say, in the Dagara cosmology, we're in a year of mineral, which is this arena right now. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, maybe a little isolated, hermiting, I love to hermit with the moon in Gemini, this is really offering us a welcomed opportunity or an opportunity to welcome some kind of reconnection with old friends, loved ones. But it's also a magical time to engage in intellectual pursuits, exploring new ideas, expanding our horizons. It's like a glimmer in the ideas, curiosity, having a greater understanding. However, it's important to remember that the energy of Gemini can also bring up some mental chatter, possibly restlessness, anxiety. So talking about how you feel, the mind is a tool. It holds all the experiences we have ever experienced by our own definition and also our attitude. So maintaining balance, that's essential to ourselves in the present moment, choreographing that to avoid getting lost in our thoughts. Are you sensing a theme? Are you feeling me? So really staying elementally grounded. I talk about the elementals and gift and purpose. There's so much more than what we've been traditionally aligned with. So with that, the Musing Moon meditation should be up very soon. I crafted it a little bit late. And yes, editing does take time and space. But the Libra season Sacred Spirit Circle will also be up soon, the first day of Libra. And how many of you have joined me live on Fridays? And if you don't know, my Friday live show, I go live every Friday to throw the shells. I go live on YouTube and also on my Facebook page. That's where you're seeing all those 19K followers. That's on Facebook. I so wish YouTube hit me there as well. But I do many cowrie shell divinations. So talk about celestial weather and manifesting sometimes. So if you feel the need that you need some guidance, I do offer one-on-one private sessions doing cowrie shell divination. Sometimes I get intuitive hips to look at your 4 pillars of destiny, sometimes the astrology, and just really mapping it out. But I always give rituals as prescriptions within all of my services. The Otherworldly Medicine Cabinet, I'm a seer into the other world. Also, Change Your Stars is a quiz I have for if you're kind of confused about your intuitive gifts. We all have them. It's just how they show up for each of us is individual. We all have a personal algorithm that's unique to all of us. It's like our personal energetic thumbprint. And also the Shamanic Healing Academy, which I'm so stoked about. And yeah, I'm having all kinds of funness happening today. Obviously, you can tell. But the Shamanic Healing Academy, the Shah and the Medium, this is my online, I call it a grimoire. It's an academy. It's the Shah and the Medium. This was all downloaded by Spirit. It's my online grimoire. It's a library of all of my intuitive offerings that I started back in 2016. And I'm keeping that as an introductory offer at $3.99 for the first 30 days. And then it goes into a month-to-month offer. So if you're into an algorithm, an alternative way of being, whether it's shamanism, mysticism, mages, healers, all the things, witches, this truly is for you. If you're longing for a tribe, an online virtual coven, a sacred gathering space where you can share your insights, maybe ask questions. We all have a purpose to shine our light. That's how we all evolve as a world. So it has, again, all of my online offers from beginning to foundation, masters, and evolving. So where you can learn at your own vibrational pace. I really do see it as a virtual, not just a grimoire, but a coven with ritual insights through indigenous spirit technologies, not just of Africa, but other ones. And you also have access to all of my Spill the Tea parties. And Spill the Tea is something I do monthly. It's a monthly coven call to really clear anything that's happening for the world. This month's Sacred Spirit Circle, or Spill the Tea, is, of course, off social media. It's in a private setting, not just within the Shamanic Healing Academy, but also through Zoom. And we're glimmering to a new angel number weekly. All you have to do is subscribe to the Musing News to make your inbox glimmer. And that's when you get the call. So Spill the Tea is always on the third Friday of each month. It's a live venue through Zoom, but also in the online coven, the Shaman Healing Academy. I'm multi-streaming. It's always at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time. I'd love to see you there. Again, all you need to do is subscribe to the Musing News, make your inbox glimmer. And September Spill the Tea is dedicated to the season of Libra, our throat center, the gates in human design, and also Venus. It's happening this Friday in a coven near you. All you have to do is subscribe to make your inbox glimmer. And of course, I'll see you on the other side. And as you probably gather by now, during eclipse season, you can expect to feel embodying a wide galactic universal, I'm going to call it a galactic range of emotions, from deep sadness, vulnerability. Like I heard it yesterday. I was doing at Pagan Pride, doing some readings there. People were feeling vulnerable. Not just there, just doing divinations. But either way, anywhere from feeling vulnerable to possibly overwhelming amounts of joy, inspiration, compassion. The list goes on and on and on. It streams, right? So with the moon conjunct Neptune, this can really amplify our feelings, even our subconscious world, making all the things more intense, possibly more overwhelming than the norm or the traditional. So it's vitally important to remember that these emotions are messengers, mystic messengers, guiding us towards a deeper understanding and, more importantly, healing, adding to the emotional intensity. So this eclipse is also a time for spiritual awakening, integration. So it's like our spidey senses. This energy is deeply connected to the spiritual realm, which is also our crown center. So this eclipse can open us up to new levels, not just intuition, but vibration, frequency, psychic awareness, the unseen world, paying attention to our dreams and our synchronicities, as they may contain important messages from your higher self, your Sira, what you look like on the other side. So these powerful energies, so it's essential for our beingness to prioritize self-care, routines, habits, rituals, upcycling them, integrating them, taking time for relaxation, meditation, and other spiritual practices to really assist us to ground into ourselves, to embody ourselves, connecting with your inner peace. I would consider incorporating energy healing techniques such as light therapy, chromotherapy, quantum energetic facials. I do them. I support them, along with acupuncture, whatever you feel called to support your emotional and spiritual well-being, herbs, herbologists. But most importantly, as we move through and navigate this transit for 18 months, it really is important to remember we're not alone. Nobody makes it alone. We're all connected by a cosmic web of energy, the threads. It reminds me literally of the spider's web. So our experiences are mirrored out in the collective consciousness throughout the cloud lines, literally. So by focusing on compassion, understanding, unity, which reminds me of the Fae, we can help to create a more harmonious, peaceful world, like literally stepping out of the 3D and looking in from the cloud line. So just remember, this is a time of transformation. It's important to embrace these challenges, see them as opportunities that are really coming our way. Having faith, trusting in the universe, knowing that everything is unfolding just as it should. The universe is always working in our favor, and what you are seeking is also seeking you. Those are just my memos. Hold the force, dear Jedi, I am with you. I am there. But I do utilize the Chinese 4 pillars of destiny to map out your elemental design. This is a factor I bring in. The Chinese biorhythm, the elementals. We receive telltale signs through the body, the skin, working with the elementals through the skin, the biorhythms, to bring you to a state of emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, healing. I also may feel or sense even to look into your home, the energy chart of the home, because we navigate this all the time. And 4 pillars is literally just one of the tools I use as a stepping stone for your own personal grimoire. The elemental highway this week, I literally am I'm actually bringing in the 4 pillars for this eclipse full moon, which I'm super excited about. So we do have a young wood monkey of a day. We actually have an entire western direction with the monkey, the rooster, and the dog, completing literally the helpful people quarters, the other world. The rooster, yin metal, is a useful tool to trim our day. It's time for some fine tuning, some fine pruning of our ideas. Yang wood is ideas. So what are we doing in the fall? We prune up the trees. We get ready for winter. We let go. We recycle. We recalibrate. So ask yourself, where do you need some fine pruning, some fine tuning? The monkey, however, is aggressive. The monkey goes against our day. So it might be chopping at us, making us a little bit brittle during the fall season. So the energy of metal is on the rise. Wood energy is on the decline. So this is going into what I like to see as hermit mode or incubation. However, we do have a forest of yang wood, the hour, the day, and the year, the yang wood dragon. But the water energy is also rising. So the monkey is actually the birth of water. The hour of the rat is the peak of water, and the dragon is water in storage. See where I'm going? So yes, eventually we're also going to have a water trine, which actually the water on the month is giving us just that. However, the element most needed in looking at this chart is actually fire. Even though we have fire in storage in the dog, we do need the sun to shine its light upon nature. And I've said this all the time. Of all the elements in the Chinese 4 pillars, yang wood needs all elements for balance. So today, I would literally light a candle, stare at it with your eyes, go outside, bathe in the sun, ignite your inner fires, be impassioned. And with all this metal energy, which is actually associated with Mercury and the swords in the tarot, so our thoughts may feel heavy. Venus is opposing Chiron. So allowing our thoughts to flow is part of our inner healing process, knowing that the mud will eventually settle. Clarity will come after very soon. So this is like going inward to outward, but also being respectful, and just be open to the energy as it supports starting new projects. Possibly launching something with all those percolating ideas. Consider what you have set in motion that will open up more doors out into the future. I would say it's a great day, a fantastic day for not just praying, but also strengthening our connection to spirit by invoking, using words, meditation, and also really do some rituals that are sacred and authentic to you. So the messages this week, which I'm so excited about, I'm calling in the Shadowscape Tarot, this ethereal kind of Celtic Druid masterpiece. It really is literally one of my favorites. It fell off the shelf many moons ago into my hands from Barnes & Noble. So with that, first up on this Mystic Monday, as I change my scenes, and we know how this goes. There we are. So on this mystical Monday, magical moon's day, Pisces moon heading towards its eclipse, I'm super excited. Of course, it doesn't take me much to get excited, right? We've got the Page of Cups, which who doesn't love the Page of Cups? I love that it's like she's holding a chalice. She's like a mermaid. I love this deck. The golden chalice. I'm going with her holding a golden chalice. This is our social invitation, imagination, intuition, creative inspiration, going inward. It's our spiritual ability to go to the depths of some fresh air, into some fresh waters, being an artesian. It's our ability to have those amazing percolating ideas. So this is the sign, I'll call it the season really, that allows those childish wonders, those aspects of us that are percolating inside to literally show up, not just in the subtle field, but in our physical reality. I'm going with that. So it's a positive, optimistic sign that really is implying our emotional encouragement. It shows that somebody who looks smaller than you, possibly are, is giving you a message. It's the childlike wonder. Watch little kids. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So this is an expression for us to play, to dream, to have some fun, spark some light. Sometimes it means that we're living life way too seriously. And the thing that I've learned over and over is that the difference between taking work too seriously is also taking ourselves too seriously. I have a Virgo rising, and I watched 2 Virgos yesterday, and I was like, stop your madness. But just remember the difference between the two. Maybe we're overly daydreaming, possibly. Maybe we're overly sensitive to the problems that once seemed normal. But this is a zone of neutrality. It really depends on our individual situations. You know, sometimes we may be irritable with someone, or maybe we feel that somebody is moving against us. To be open to new ideas, sticking to our ideas, and accepting our openness. So many secret doors are opening. Possibly it's time to promote our own creativity into our own strengths and really having courage. So if you're facing something that's difficult, challenging, kind of minimize the sensitivity, the apprehension, the vulnerability. You know, perseverance. It's like canning. It reminds me of canning. To persevere, to preserve, right? Or perseverance. I don't know why, but just like go after what your heart desires. That's what we should all be pursuing. So what you want with a new attitude, an attitude of learning, understanding, you know, and within that, that's when we find success. Success finds us. So it's time to open the door to a new perspective on a situation, a problem, looking for the solution. It's like the shadow of a doubt and love and compassion. We should also never stop listening to our intuition, which resonates through our whole body, not just up here, as well as stop believing in our dreams. We got to quit doing that. So once we stop dreaming, we stop believing, that's when our dreams never come into fruition. So dream big, dream loud. And if it no longer exists, the darkest moments of life, dreams often bring that. They bring a glimmer of hope. So dare to dream and dream bigger. And how many of you have actually pulled out your journal and started to do your moon wishes? This is like an 18-month dream journal. That's kind of how I see it. I literally, like I said, I started my online courses and my podcast in 2016. So this is like, oh my God, it's coming to fruition. That's what it feels like for me. So I'm going to take all that and take some more. And then on Terrific Tuesday, we have, oh my goddess, the Page of Swords, which, like I said, I love this deck. I don't think my camera's doing its service, but I'm working through it. I just love all the colors. It feels very ethereal to me. I just love this deck. But the Page of Swords, which I find curious, swords are mind, our air, skills. But it's also, what are we cutting away from? Are we being mindful? Are we being curious? What's our gathering space? Are we being honest? Are we being sincere? Do we have integrity? Are we being without fear? You know, a lot right now are being scrutinized for what you believe. But you know what? Stay curious. I don't believe everything I see. I kind of do research. I don't just gravitate towards it. So it's this balance between criticism and also condemnation, condemning ourselves, knowing who we are and having a sense of our own mind, our own values. not being afraid of being influenced by our emotions, not allowing our emotions to influence our decisions. This is like the practical, it's the logical, it's the agile, it's the bending, it's the alertness. And using our sense of purpose wisely with wisdom to assess all the situations, any and all. So it's like, are we seeking to expand our awareness to learn new things and have new understandings that we may or may not know? Having intellectual intelligence, a different perspective, be curious, determined, justice. It's also honest or constructive criticism, which I feel like we all need, and just having a sense of great busyness, like all the court cards. So this one can sometimes represent a real life person, pages, could be a younger person, a studious person, a querent. It's a message that we may not often be expecting, and this is happening tomorrow. So sometimes we push too hard, maybe we push too fast, maybe we're angry, maybe we need to learn the body language of others. Just consider where we can or can't accept that constructive criticism, like whatever that is, from others at a certain level. So this may seem that we are feeling physically or mentally energetic. It is the body, Virgo. So use this energy wisely. But it does represent curiosity. I always say stay curious and question everything. This could also be somebody, especially in the year of mineral, somebody who's jealous of us, gossiping about us, talking about what others have been through, or even yourself. I need a sounding board, but it could also be a warning that people around us may create problems for us because of their curiosity. So it really is just hinting that not everyone is a good fit as we may imagine. Sometimes we trust somebody who takes advantage of us, they kind of spy on us, they share things about us. So ultimately, be careful, be conscious about who your circle is, and gossiping, lies, deceit. But on a side note, controlling those negative emotions, negative thoughts, they kind of create a matrix, a chain link fence, if you will. These are the ones that will always make us lose faith in ourselves and everything around us, possibly breaking down problems into solutions, one little navigation at a time, so we can ultimately solve them. But on the optimistic side, because that's where I like to glimmer, it does show that we are going to be using our imagination, our creativity, our dream state. I'm saying use the fires that we possess within us, and using words, invoking words. It's like being the tool, crafting with words. That's kind of what I sense there as well. But always curious. Be curious to learn everything around you. This gives us more confidence, more knowingness, and an advantage in really some excitement for a new journey. Be passionate, be impassioned. And don't share those often with others or everyone. I've learned that myself. And then on Wizardy Wednesday, we have the Seven of Wands, which I love the Seven of Wands. This is like the mother protecting her brood, her babies, which that's what moms do, right? The Seven of Wands. Fire, definitely the fire. We need the fire for the moon. But definitely the Barracuda protecting her baby. 7 is spirit. So it's the fire of spirit, being impassioned by our own spirit, standing ground firmly, protecting what we believe in, knowing that the world is full of conflicts, possibly some competition, fierce competition. Be brave, be bold, be courageous, be authentic, speak your truth, hold it. Face any challenges, so you don't fall under the storm of others around you. Instead, we really have to know how to be flexible, be mutable. Like it seems the difference in our inabilities can still overcome with strong faith and courage. Faith is a feeling. Courage is just an inner knowing. Success sometimes is competition, but also I like to compete with myself. So being fearless, being courageous, being consistent, this is all metal vibration. So maybe there's a change of career, maybe learning, teaching, writing, scribing, being more determined. So this does represent some kind of combat. Maybe you were forced into combat, leading to some serious consequences, maybe chaos that somebody brings making our reputation more effective, challenges, forces of adversity. They compel us to fight for who we are and our rights, our integrity, fighting for justice. So there may be some unfair things at play, some competitive tricks. It really reminds me of the coyote trickster. Sometimes this brings things or people to us because they're jealous of what we've gained so far moving forward. So go ahead, take a bow in the mirror, pat yourself on the back, be proud of the battles you've overcome, maintain your position. It's like playing chess. Even the difficulties that we each face, they kind of motivate us to really move forward and get what we want. So whatever arises, stand firmly on the ground. I keep wanting to say the terra firma of the earth. But often we need to fight to protect our achievements, but ultimately never lose faith. Faith is a feeling, and eventually all of our efforts are rewarded as long as we stand firm. So don't feel pressured to compete or even compare yourself with anyone else. I find people do that often. And then on Tantalizing Thursday, oh my gosh, we got the magician. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can see him, but he literally holds all the cards. That's kind of how I see him. He is like, I want to be him. That's all I want to say. But the magician in this particular deck literally holds all the elementals. It's like loving the skin that we're in and embodying that, the magic that resides within each and every one of us. It's our starlight glimmering. And again, I don't know if you can see all the artifacts, but this represents truly all the elementals, the light of fire within the lantern, the sound of the waters within the seashell, the breath of the wind, the feather of the raven. Like I said, I don't know if you can see all these, but literally all the elementals are literally in this magical card, even the soul of the earth, like within the leaves. So just knowing that we have the ability to turn all the things that we have into reality with not just our consciousness, but also our own free will. So we have the knowledge of how to control the world, the elementals. So this is a message about our pure uniqueness, our creativity, our skill set, our will, our self-confidence. How we use our hands, our skill set, alchemizing metal, capturing those unknown things around us, exploiting them to become realistic. Learning to throw the invisible things into the world of material existence to materialize. Often the devil is like greedy, that's what we see, and the magician is on the other side of the greed. It's like the cleverness of it. He's magic. He's fluent in all the rules and arenas of life. Many tricks, like alchemizing to get what he wants. So he's literally being carried along the wings of the angels. Like I said, I don't think you can see all the magic in this here message, but he's on the shoulders of an angel. The horn on the top of his head, that's kind of the devil's horn. So he's showing us both sides of the good and the bad within his energy. So the tricks, he's the trickster for personal purposes or gain. So this is like gaining admiration from others. And the wings, like on the wing, this literally reminds me of a dream catcher. I kind of have this on my gift and purpose page. But we've got the 4 heavenly elements within the tarot, which is literally amazing. Light, fire, the wands. Again, the snail even. Water, the cups. My first life was a snail. That's funny. The feather, the swords, the leaf, the earth, the pentacles. So everything's there. Everything's in alignment. It's like the basic rules of heaven and earth. There's also an infinity sign. So this is knowledge. Things are unlimited. And there's also a snake there biting his tail, which is wisdom. It's the mysterious. I'm thinking of like Kundalini rising, red Kundalini, golden Kundalini, even some kind of magical alchemizing green Kundalini. So it's the circulation of life. It's the alchemy. So I'm loving the magician. And, you know, Thursday is Jupiter's day. So this really is alchemizing some magic within our medicine and really having the ability to be centered, creating things, you know, by ourselves and for ourselves, and being admired for the cool things we create. So the magician is like the sphere of influence, but also it's protected by those snakes. So there's like the in-between worlds is kind of how I see the magician. But also the magician is associated with Gemini, with Mercury, curiosity. So I'm just loving that. The creativity, but also our ability to have skills and confidence, and really the magic within us, being self-controlled, learning from our experiments, even our mistakes. Those two are opportunities. I always see a mistake as an opportunity. I don't even think mistakes are mistakes. They bring us the ability to solve our problems, being solution orientated, being adaptable, being flexible, just speaking a different language. It's also associated with our central nervous system and our 5 senses. So it's this Gemini ruled energy, Mercury. So it's like mastering the mindset, the collective information, logical reasoning, being playful, going outside of the box. Again, staying curious. That's kind of a theme this week. Stay curious, question everything, being flexible, mutable, and just experiencing a new skill set. But also at the same time, there may be a trick to achieve the things that we want and be clever about it. Solving problems, being satisfied, and looking into the future. So it's like grasping that things are much bigger than we ourselves are, and things before our eyes might be very different than the reality that we're in. So just hold space for yourself. But the magician is kind of the message for Thursday. So it really does feel very successful, like take advantage of creativity, our full potentials. It's time to really fully embody our ability without any hesitation. It's time to show off our skills to achieve the success. So I love all of these messages. I'm not going to lie this week because they're all in alignment. So, keep what resonates and throw what doesn't out the door. So we do have this energy, like we're going to be riding. It feels like we're going to go surfing in a way, like we're getting out onto the ocean and getting out surfing and getting ready to jump on the board of the surfboard. So whatever opportunities arise, make sure you get on the board and ride the wave. That's kind of what I'm sensing with the magician, and bring in all the elementals. And share your light, share your golden light with all those under your tree, nurturing, right? So then on Fantastic Friday, we've got the 2 of Cups, and the moon is in Taurus. So to me, the 2 of Cups is kind of like a lover's card. That's kind of what I'm sensing here. It feels like it feels like the lovers. It's a very sensual energy, as above, so below. And it's like we're alchemizing all the energies with the elementals in between, all the ongoing energies. So we've got water, earth, air, just moving together. The fish swimming in the water, maybe in the air. It reminds me of a movie with, I can't remember, but he turned into a fish. I can't remember, but it's also got the gods of the forest. Excuse me. Gods of the forest also curled up in the air. Reminds me of the dragons on the clouds. So these are the intimate energies of each other that come towards us. They're also united. They are merging. They form a solid connection. So this is the harmony of the yin and the yang, pulling and pushing. This is a connection, cooperation, being partnered in a partnership. It's unity again between opposite forces. So it possibly, it's this binding of relationships. So it's like an organization progressing. Things are moving forward. Relationships, connections developing. Things are becoming stable. They're strong. But besides that, we can gradually, things can be forgotten. And when we do that, they often collapse. So this is sharing. It's an invitation to share our warmth, our wisdom, our charisma, and really receiving. Reciprocity is a big word. Being kind, being courageous, a mutual attraction, a mutual reception. it's like this romantic tendencies. So there's some kind of a clear exchange between nurturing, nourishment, being supportive, being grounded, being embodied, and really engaging in our emotions, coming from like romancing the stone. Our relationship represents the love that's nourished, creative, focused, inspirational, but more importantly, fulfilling. So it really does reflect balance and also mutual respect. So possibly we start a new relationship this weekend. I'm kind of feeling that. Maybe we experience a deeper reflection, a deeper understanding within ourselves between two souls, maybe just knowing that the seed we've been planting is growing into that authentic tree of kindness, thoughtfulness, compassion, two souls coming together. It's this feeling of actually being together, immersed or merging. So this really is a bright merging relationship kind of message. It's indicative, I like that word, indicative, that maybe something's brewing, a mutual, respectful relationship, partnership based on equality. So I really love that this message is here. You may feel some emotional tidal waves as people get close. It's kind of that, to me, it feels vulnerable, right, when we're in relationships. So our message for the week, I just want to say, is coming from the Musing Moon meditation. So let's change that out. Let's see. Move that. The Musing Moon meditation. There we go. And really releasing what no longer serves ourselves and just opening ourselves to spiritual clarity and intuition, inner peace. So I want to say that I trust in the divine flow of the universe. The universe always has our back. And maybe throw in like a splash of integrity as we're really aligning with our higher self and walking forward with the streams of love and grace. Streams, right? So with that, I say blessings, ashe, and as always, you know I will see you on the other side.